I have been out of town again, so I thought I would sneak on here for just a few minutes and then do a quick unboxing. Pampered Chef mystery boxes 2 and 3. I can't wait to open these. I think this one is number 2. We're going to go from here and talk about some of this stuff, I think. I'm hoping notifications got out on my last live stream on Sunday. I was told that notifications did not get out. Let me just check one thing right here. I'll be right back. Just give me a second. I'm just going to check and see if notifications went out at all. Hopefully, hopefully, hopefully. Yeah, looks like it did. Okay. So that's good to know. There we go. I hope you all are doing well today. Hey, let's see, who have I got here? Living Positively After Challenges and Peter Parker, aka Spider-Man the Hero. Welcome. Do you all not sleep? I'm not sleeping well either. Oh, let me go ahead and open these boxes. I'm sorry you all aren't sleeping. P&L Railroader here. Hey, oh, you do? The real golden spike from Promontory, Utah. That's so awesome. I'm sorry that you didn't get notifications. Yeah, and frankly, I don't know what's up with that. I don't know if I can even change it or fix it or anything. This phone looks like it's wobbling too. Let me see if I can fix this stand. I bought a new selfie stick tripod and I'm not sure that I like it. I thought it would be great, but now I'm not too sure. I think it wants to tip. Yeah, let me put it over here. Prop it up against something. I thought this would just be perfect. Of course not. Now I can't even see it. Oh, it's rotated. Okay. Well, so what I have is a bendy tripod, and it is not, I don't want to say it's not worth a hill of beans, but getting pretty close to that. Whoops. It's made of real copper gold alloy. Wow. And somebody says they've uploaded a few videos on the golden spike because P&L. Okay, that's awesome. Okay, this is ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Okay. And this bed behind me, that's where Pipsy goes when he's in here. So anyhow, so I have found I'm eating more at home because we're trying to save money so we can pay off some bills so I can then turn around and spend it by getting a van. But we're a long ways off from that. No, it's made in California. Interesting. Yeah. Oh, okay. I see what the comment was. No, he's talking about the spike that joined the 2 railroads, and that actually happened at Promontory Point, which is just, it's still just like a little dot on the map. So yeah, it's all right, you guys. I'm gonna open this. I can't believe y'all are awake. Oh, we're just gonna all be awake together, right? All right, so here's the thing. We've been working on saving some money, And I realized that there's a bunch of things in the kitchen that I really can use. So I thought I would order these Pampered Chef mystery boxes, and we'll see how it goes. It's only 1 a.m. with Peter Parker. That's right. And I know that with Lori, it's even earlier than that. LOL. So anyway, I got these thinking that it would help in the kitchen, and then whatever I don't like, I can sell. Because Pampered Chef is pretty popular. And I do sell it right now, but I'm probably not going to be selling it that much longer. Honestly, the big reason that I started selling it is because of the fundraisers. Right now, if you order, and you order through a charity, like I've got 2 links up. One's for the service dog program and one's for the church. And you can get up to 30% back. Oh, it's only 10 with Living Positively. Well, I'm glad for that. The funny thing is they ceremonial tapped the golden spike with a silver. Wow. I don't blame them though. If I was doing a gold and copper alloy spike at a pig event like that, I don't think I'd want to take any risks, you know. I think I would want it to be nice and controlled. Okay, so Pampered Chef picks orange paper. Okay, that's cool. Oh, and this is box number 2. Pretty sure. They both showed up today, but I think there's 2 and that one's 3. But anyway, this has got the basting brush in it. And I got these because also I like happy surprises, and I need this basting brush, so that's good. Spatula. Yes, always need a spatula. I don't know what this is. We're going to find out. And a pie crust mix. Where's the links for the charities, Gayle, that I can share? I will put them actually in the first comment and pin it so you can find it. It's only until the end of the month though, so it's only like another, when does the end of the month? This weekend? So, but that's okay. Pie crust mix. I'm not really into pies, but that can change. Somebody brought me over a bag of peaches, and I'm not sure what to do with them because it is a very large bag. So maybe I'll do a pie for that. I've got company coming for the weekend. What in the heck is this gizmo? Hand pie and pocket maker. I bet this is going to be good. It's probably going to be good for pies, but actually I'm probably going to make miniature calzone with it. Let me see how it's going to go. The calzone, or calzone as somebody call it. What happened to Tuesday's trivia? I could not get a cell phone signal on Tuesday. I was so frustrated. I don't know what was up with my phone. Somehow or other, it got kicked out of the system completely. I was like hunting a computer so I could check and make sure I paid that bill. I did, but tech support had to get involved and do something. So I don't know what, but I'm back online now. So I may do Travel Tuesday trivia on Thursday, which is tomorrow. I may pop on and do that after physical therapy, because we're still working on my back and neck. This has been a high medical year, and that kind of sucks. Which is one of the reasons why I can't go get a van right now. Okay, I don't know. You know, most of the time, these things are intuitive. This is one that is not. I'm going to have to, oh, that came off. I wonder if it was supposed to. Okay. And then that folds. All right. My miniature calzone idea may be not happening. It's just an odd little gadget. If it will help me make mini calzone, that would be great, because then I can just, it's easier to make a bunch. And I don't like to make really large calzone because they're difficult to deal with for just 1 or 2 people. Oh gosh, could we have put, this is my instructions. She don't know what day it is. Today is Thursday. I know, I'm trying to ignore that fact since I can't sleep. And I've been out all day. But you're right, the other day I was like so mixed up. I was really thinking somehow or other that Monday was all, I got that all mixed up with Tuesday, and then I couldn't get a cell phone signal, and it was even worse. Sometimes when I'm not sure what day it is, I can just holler at Google and ask, but you have to have cell phone service to do that. And it was weird. They said something was up with my EIN. So, yeah, it's really weird. I think it even confused Google. I got Google Fi wireless. But I do have to say that this is the first problem that I've had with Google Fi other than right after the hurricane. And I don't care what service you had right after the hurricane, you had a problem with it. Oh, what's the matter, Pipsy? Yeah. You can come in. Okay, or not. Okay, Pipsy has figured out I'm awake and up, and he is now at my doorway. I do not know if he is coming in or not. That's the thing about service dogs. You can. He's sitting there whining. I don't know. Can you all hear him? Whoa. So yeah, I don't know what's been wrong with me lately. I've kind of been in a funk. Peter Parker says he can't sleep. Yeah, I get that. I get that. All right, this is box number 3, I think. It would be more convenient if they would do that. You can't hear him. I'm glad. He might lay there and go to sleep. I don't know. He's not happy that I'm not asleep, I think. Okay. Let me see. This feels nice and heavy. I'll set that off to the side. Let me see what this is. Ah, okay. This is a pizza crust. If all goes well, I will actually be using this with the calzone because you use pizza crust for it. It's not hard. But my husband has a hard time though. He can't remember which is calzone and which is stromboli. And I've tried to tell him a million times, but he still has to be reminded when we go places. But that's okay. Okay. What is this? Pizza scissors. Have y'all ever heard of pizza scissors? I saw these in the catalog and they looked interesting. I'm not sure. Let me. If it's going to be helpful. Want a pizza crust? What's in it? Let me see. Probably a bunch of stuff I can't read. Let's see. Enriched flour, bleached wheat flour, malted barley flour, niacin, reduced iron, thiamine, riboflavin, folic acid, enriched flour, wheat flour, malted barley flour, niacin, salt, active dry yeast, and sugar. You're always going to have, anytime you have yeast, you are going to have sugar or a little bit of honey. That's because when you're mixing the yeast, mixing the flour and the yeast, the sugar is what the yeast feeds off of to make the bubbles. And that's when you know to use it, when it's nice and frothy. So you do have to have a little bit of sugar. This is the next to the last ingredient, so there's not going to be much sugar in this. It's got 8 servings per container, per half cup. Okay. I bet you're going to want to know about the calories and fiber and stuff. So it says fats 1%, carbohydrates 4%, 1 gram of fiber. I'm sorry, 4 grams of fiber, 2% on sugar, sodium 540 milligrams, potassium, which is not bad, that's 75 milligrams, which is 2%, 1% on calcium, and 14% on iron. Let me get over here and see what you just said, because all the words go by fast. Well, Gayle, that's good ingredients. I prefer no bleach flour, but I'm impressed. And Peter is saying sugar is gross to him. Okay. I'm glad you're impressed. I'll tell you, the mixes have really been pretty good. Kay with Happy Trails Hiking, she's the one that got me on selling Pampered Chef, and she sent in a bunch of soup mixes so we could give them away when we needed the supplies. And I mean, here in the area, sodium is a bit high if that's for 1 serving. Let me see. I bet it is, because it says servings per container. Calories 190. So I bet it is per serving. Yeah, I don't add a lot of salt to my things, so I get it. So anyway, with the mixes that Kay sent in, they were really good. Now, we had to give extra stuff because the mixes were just like the starter for the soup. I remember the soup mixes. Okay. So we had to give out a lot of extra stuff, but people loved them. Absolutely loved them. So that's a good thing. And then I went through and I ordered some mixes later. Living Positively says it's not extremely high. That's good to know. If I'm making the pizza crust, I tend not to put in a whole lot of salt, and I tend to use sea salt, which is better for you. And then to compensate, I'll sometimes add a little bit of garlic powder or something like that to the mix. That's if I'm making pizza. If I'm doing the calzones, then I don't really add a lot because of the ricotta adding, all the flavor to that. So I'll do the ricotta and some other type of filling, whether it's spinach. I really like spinach filling, but it has to be fresh. I am a little picky on that. So whether it's spinach, or sometimes I'll do some Italian sausage, like for my husband. So that's not bad too. Yay, sea salt. Isn't it funny how it gives more actual flavor and you don't get as much of the salty taste? It is really late, but hi and welcome. Yeah, the cheeses are salty, absolutely. Now, busy lady, it's late for you too. I guess none of us can sleep tonight. But yeah. Peter Parker is sending a character and I can't tell what it is. It's true. Okay, yeah. So yeah, so I tend to play around with my pizza crust, and you just don't need a lot of salt in. Now, I think you need sometimes a little bit more in the stromboli, because the stromboli really only has mozzarella and sometimes Romano cheese, but you have all of that in the calzone with the ricotta, and it just, I like it better. And that's really the type of cheese, and the shape is really the difference in the calzone versus the stromboli. But anyway, kind of got off topic there a little bit. And I do use my Pampered Chef pizza stone for that because it's really good. Oh, are you tired of waiting? Okay. Well, you can go to bed. Go kennel. He was making these roar noises that he does when he gets frustrated with me. Yep, I think he just left. I'm waiting for Santa to come. Well, Merry Christmas to you too, just a few months early. It's okay. All right, go kennel. Go. Okay, now he's going. Pizza scissors. These look like they could be banned for being a deadly weapon. Okay, it's actually got a slide on it. That is so cool. It's an extra long pair of scissors. They're kind of not wanting to, I don't know that they're going to cut well. They're wanting to catch. We'll see how this goes. I'll probably wind up trying it. I do like that it's got this little extra gizmo. Oh, I wore the earrings you made today, and my husband asked where I got them. Aw. I'm glad you wore them. That makes my day. And hey, busy lady, I am not getting notifications on your videos. So if this keeps up, you're going to see me unsub and then sub back. Just don't think that I haven't like subbed before or something. So Peter Parker over here is not getting my notifications, and I'm not getting yours. And Lori, I just started recently getting your notifications back, so I really don't know what's up with this. I've got 6 people watching now. Thank you all. Now, I can't figure out how to put this back in the box. What is it about when you get a product, you can't pack it back up? Oh, this is going to be one of those. like these if they'll cut well. I like the pizza cutter that I have. It's just a Walmart cheapie, but I like it pretty well, but sometimes it's hard for me to really get down in there and cut it all the way. So I think that's where the scissors are going to come along. That's going to be my plan anyway. We'll see. Well, good grief. And again, Peter, I'm sorry about the live stream not happening on Tuesday. That was just weird. And it's a real bummer, too, because you do all the research on the trivia questions and check and double check and make sure everything's accurate. And then you can't use it because your phone weirds out. So hopefully tomorrow, aka today. What is, I'm anxious to see what this is. Hold on. Okay, I'm going to like this. This is the small batter bowl. I freaking love my big ones. Have you all seen these? Busy, Peter, Lori, P&L. Have you all seen these? I freaking love these things. I use the daylights out of my big one. So this is good. When we get the van again, I'll be able to carry it in the van because this thing is just, I love it. You can mix in it. They are the ones I want more of and still need to send you a pic. Oh no, no worries. Okay, your earrings, gotcha. Yeah, these are awesome because you can mix in it and then also measure in it and then put the lid on it and put it in the fridge. So if you're doing cookie dough and it has to sit overnight, this is great. Because you can just leave it in the mixing bowl and you're done. And you don't have to worry about it. And then the next morning or however long it has to sit in the fridge, take it out and you are ready to go. But it's also great for like soups and stuff if I don't want to, you know, store it in something else and I just want something really easy. I can throw the remainders in the microwave in for myself and my husband. I love these things. This is 4 cups. I'm also going to make tea in it. Yes, absolutely. Less dishwashing is the big thing. I have the 8 cup, the big one, and I use it a lot. So I'm going to use this too. I'm excited about this one. That's the last piece too. I am excited about it. And this part you have to put in the top rack. That's of the dishwasher. I do. I like it. I will microwave something in it for my husband. But I'm not a huge microwave user, but he is. My friends may pop in. Yay! Tell them to come on in. So, yeah. I'm not a huge microwave user, but sometimes I will mix something up in the microwave for my husband, and he's always using it. So, like, when I make potato soup for the 2 of us, and I'm using, like, regular potatoes, I will occasionally do those in the microwave. Just add the water, cover up the potatoes with it, throw in, you know, all the ingredients that you like. With us, it's sour cream, milk, salt, pepper, a little bit of garlic salt, a little bit of onion powder, that kind of thing. I love my air fryer more than the microwave. Gotcha. Okay, somebody said what? I want a potty. What? Let me go back. I want a porta potty. Well, I have one I'm not using right now. I don't need it since I wrecked the van. If you were closer, I'd let you have it. I looked forever for that thing. Because you have to kiss a lot of frogs before you can find your prince. And the porta potty was one of those. Because I wanted one that sat like a real one. I mean, as much as you can. So, don't use it that much, but they're good to have for emergencies. And I have to tell you that when the hurricane came in and we had the van and we had the RV, it was great to have that option. Have you heard of a shiwi? No, I have not. What is it? I may have to look that up. Just use the one you have in your hand, Gayle, LOL. No, I'm not going to do that. No, thank you. This is what I'm going to cook in. I'm not going to pee in it. Let me set this over here. I'll be right back. I just want to get it out of the way so I don't break it. Because I can tell you that's my favorite piece out of the mystery box. Wait a minute, let me scroll up. I will share a link, LOL. I got one and it did not work out. It's a device for women to be able to pee in a bottle or small space. Okay. Well, if it didn't work out, I probably don't want to look it up. So, yeah. No thanks. I'll look at it, but if it didn't work out for you, that's enough of a anti-recommendation, I guess you could say. I got my fun cup. Yay. It's for tiny women. Okay. Gotcha. I'll move this around. I want to see my eyes. This is one of those Turbis cups, and I actually still have some ice in it. Yeah, they do, it sounds like. Yep, Yoda, or the child, or Grogu, whatever you want to call him. It's the little one. But that's okay. Let me see here. Big, beautiful women. Or I guess this, given this channel, it's Be Bodacious Women. There you go. Yeah, I'll stick to my little porta potty once we get things back. So, yeah. It's going to be a while. What can I say? My mind went elsewhere. It's okay. Believe me, this hour in the morning, there's no telling where our minds are running, you know? Yeah. You know, I just wonder, just thinking out loud here, I wonder if I could use the porta potty with the Jeep. Ow. I may have to look at that. I am thinking about getting one of those tents that go over the back of a Jeep. I don't know. Can't decide. Somebody had a used one they were selling the other day, and it was like $50. And they sold it before I got to them. But they said they liked it. According to them, the only reason they were selling it was because of child number 3. should go live at this hour more often. I might. You never know. If I can't sleep, I may as well do something fun, right? So, yeah. So, anyway, seeing that tent, I just wonder if that is going to be my answer for a while. You said yes. Okay. This is when I crash lives. Okay. So you have a history of not being able to sleep either? I understand that if you miss enough sleep, it's almost like you're on drugs. I I have not encountered that. So I have gone without sleep for a good while. Like one of the days for the hurricane, I actually was up over 24 hours and I was having to drive. So I think that the stress though kept my adrenaline up enough that I didn't get tired. I did, just to make hubby happy, I did pull over for a couple of hours, but he kept calling me and I don't think he slept either much. Yeah, I have insomnia, but also on a night schedule since I work late nights and the kid had summer off. Okay, I didn't realize that you were working nights. Okay. My shoulder is like killing me, you all. I'm sorry. I don't know what's up with this. It feels like I have something firm pressing on my shoulder. I guess I must be developing a muscle cramp back there. That's kind of what it feels like. You know what, Busy? Sometime when we're both up, if you see me live and we're both awake, we should live stream together. One of us should join each other's. I just work part time Monday to Friday cleaning. Gotcha. Could be a ghost pressed against you. Nothing would surprise me, and I do believe in ghosts. I would love that. Okay, I hope you're talking about us live streaming and not a ghost. But yeah, I've had some interesting encounters. That's all I'm going to say about that. Let's not stir anything up. Yeah. Yeah, that's all I'll say on that. Yeah, snow goes unless they are fake Halloween decor. Yeah, we can limit it to that and everything's going to be good. Absolutely, the way for it to be. But there's a whole other dimension out there. Who knows? But yeah, something I definitely don't disagree with. I think so. We could talk about that at this hour on Live Together sometime. LOL. There's all kinds of. Now I missed that. I can finally read it, but now I got to read fast. Oh, okay. Noises at your old house. Yeah. I can get that. Yeah. I speak that language of weird noises and things. Things that aren't where you put them. But yeah. Halloween. We can talk about ghosts. That makes sense to me. I'd much rather do that. And I think service dog Pipsy picks up on activity. But like literally, I just pray God's protection and it's really helpful. Really helpful. And Christmas too. The only ones that I like at Christmas are the ones that have to do with Scrooge. And I watch that every year. It's part of my rotation. And then my husband, he always has to see Die Hard. And I like It's a Wonderful Life and Miracle on 34th Street. I like that. And Miracle on 34th, I don't know if you all know that, but they patterned it after Macy's. And Macy's really does look a lot like that at Christmas. It is insane. It is absolutely gorgeous. I want to go back to New York so bad and had planned to go in December, but that was before I totaled the van. And then the Jeep has had, I've gotten really lucky on the Jeep. The Jeep has had a lot of repairs already, which I knew it would because of the price and the way we got it. But our neighbor has been so good to help us out. Um, he's an ASE certified mechanic, but he does a lot of shade tree work. So if you're not in a hurry, he does great. But I was having problems with my emissions sensor. Well, we thought it was the sensor. The person who sold me the car told me it was the sensor. And come to find out, it's not the sensor. It was a mouse that got into the wiring. So once he got that fixed, my sensor light is off because it was one of the lights. But yeah, but I can't complain. And I knew it was sitting. The way it worked is a few years ago, my girlfriend, she lost her sight and she has this progressive eye disease. Oh Lord, I wish we lived closer because my husband would take care of it. I am like the luckiest person in the world on this Jeep. Um, because with my girlfriend, she and her husband are just wonderful people. But when she lost her sight, it took her a while to kind of come to terms with it and figure out how to live with it. And I kind of think of her as being a bodacious woman because she's been able to navigate it. And but she's had the car sitting there while she was coming to terms with it. And they drive it every once in or drove it every once in a while, to make sure that the battery was still good and stuff like that. So, I mean, it wasn't just totally sitting there. They would take it like on a long drive and stuff. Scary not to be able to see. Yeah, yeah. And so I think that the actual loss of vision itself and then the emotional loss, she really is. Like her life story, if she ever writes a book, I mean, it'll be good. But yeah, so they weren't planning on selling the Jeep. It's a Jeep Commander, it's 2006, and it's got right at 100,000 miles, which for me is close to nothing. And I was I was fussing one day about wrecking the van and I didn't want one. I didn't want a car that has all this electronic stuff on it. I just want your plain basic vehicle. I don't want a lot of bells and whistles that are just gonna break. I just feel like the more extra stuff that you have that's electronic, it's just that much more that's going to break. And so um, they let me drive it home because we weren't sure if I was going to be able to drive it or not because where I have my leg brace, my foot does not want to make that forward motion well to be able to like hit the gas and hit the brake. She wants a Model T Ford car. Oh, that would actually be so cool. So cool. Model T, Model A. Oh my gosh, Busy Lady. They are like, it's one of the first cars ever done. And it is like, it's super cool. You're going to have to go to a car show, an antique car show sometime and see it. It's just, they're really cool. No air conditioning though. way before air conditioning was even thought about. So yeah. So yeah, I was fussing about all this stuff I didn't want, because it's just going to go bad. And her husband was like, really? Because he and my husband were at a meeting together, and I was just kind of crashing the meeting because I wanted out of the house because I hadn't been out of the house in a while. And next thing I know, I get a message from him, or John does one now, I don't remember for sure. But he's like, we have our car just kind of sitting here, except for once in a while. Why don't you try driving it? So, we got together on it, we worked out a price, and he sold it to me for like, really sold it to me for like almost nothing, because they knew there was going to be repairs. We all knew that. But I knew that they would tell me everything that was wrong with it, and they did. I mean, this is one of my husband's closest buddies, so, you know, they were very interested in telling me everything that was wrong with it. So I drove it home, and it worked out pretty well driving home, except when I got that ticket. But one of those things. Yeah, was definitely a good connection, because then it helped her actually come to terms with it, because she's like, I'm not using it, and they're in a bind, and she wouldn't mind having the money, and so it all worked out. Yeah, I got a ticket on the way home. It was not my fault, actually. It was not. Um, they had not gotten the emission sticker, because it usually sat. So their thinking is that until they took it on a longer drive than like just around the neighborhood, that they would get the emission sticker on there then. And I am so lucky I didn't go to jail. I really am. The cop, thank God, he had a sense of humor. And oh, it was a mess, absolute mess, because in Virginia, you're supposed to have the license plate positive spin feeder. Yes, you always have to look on the bright side. Maybe I should buy a ticket and try winning the lottery, which would be so cool. Because if you won the Powerball, you could go like to a really small town. If you won like a big Powerball, you could go to a really small town and say, like, what do you need? How can I affect positive change in your town? Yeah, got to play to win. That's true. So, yeah. So in Virginia, you have to have your license plate on both the front and rear of your vehicle. And somehow there was not a bracket on the car, and they only moved to Virginia like about a year ago. So part of it is they haven't had really, with the car just sitting there, they really haven't had time to do much. So the license plate was up in the front dash, stuck in the window, and not on the front of the car. So I had that going against me. And then I had the emissions, the lack of emissions stickers. So with all of that, he pulled me over. And so here I am getting pulled over for that. It's not my car. I don't have proof of insurance. I can't find the registration. And I am about to take it across state line. And we were probably about, I'm going to say, 20 minutes from the state line when this happened. So the officer, thank God, had a sense of humor, because I was really afraid. Like, I'm sitting here thinking, like, do I know any attorney that I can call if I go to jail? But he was like, he came up to the car, and of course, they always say, "Dang, Gayle, I did not realize how gangster you are." Right? Right? So, yeah, he came up to the car and he's like, "Do you know why I pulled you over?" And I'm like, "Officer, I have no clue why you pulled me over." And then he was like, "License and registration, please, and proof of insurance." And he told me then about the emission sticker, and he told me about the license plate. And I'm like, "Oh, I didn't know about that." And he's like, "You didn't know you didn't have an emission sticker?" And I'm like, "No, it's not my car." And he was like, "Okay, whose car is it?" And I could snap off with his name really, really quickly, thank God, because I think that really helped. And he was like, "Well, why do you have the car?" And I'm like, "Well, they're loaning it to me for a couple of days so we can see if I can drive it. I've got a leg brace on and I have to make sure that it's going to work." And he was like, "So you're driving a car that's not yours and you have an emission sticker that's missing that they haven't had done. And your license plate is in the window, which we count as being obstructed in the state of Virginia." Oh, I should have thought about that later. I would have laughed then too. So then I couldn't find the registration anywhere at all. And my husband pulls up because he's like, "What is going on?" And the officer was like, "Sir, I need you to get back in your car." And he's like, "Okay." He said, "That's my wife." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm with him and he's with me, and everything's okay from our standpoint." And he was like, "Sir, I need you to get back in the car." So it's like, "Okay," or "Get back up to the car," is what he said. And so my husband went up to his car and I'm in mine. And the officer is like, "I need to see your registration." And I'm like, "Okay." And I'm like, "Let me look for it." And I'm going through the glove compartment and I cannot find that thing anywhere. So I asked the officer, I said, "Sir, I've got this leg brace. I'm having trouble balancing. Can he help me find it?" "Did cop know who your husband was?" "Pfft, no, he didn't." So he's like, "Yeah, yeah." He said, "Since you've got the brace, I'll let him help you." So he is frantically texting the guy who sold it to me saying, "Where's the registration? We can't find it." And I'm digging through it and it is not in the glove compartment. I can't find that registration. It is not there. And so the officer was like, "I'm going to go run your license and I'm going to run the plates. Just bring it over to the patrol car when you find it." And I'm like, "Okay, yes, sir. Anything you say, sir." And my husband in the texting got this grand idea. I had actually left the registration somehow at their house. Like, I have no idea how this happened. So I don't have the registration. I don't have proof of insurance on that car because it's not mine. I don't have the emission sticker, and I have this license plate that's partially obscured. I know. I'm like dying. And um, so the guy that sold it to me sent me a photograph of the registration. And I'm like, "Okay, I don't have anything really to lose." So I took my phone over to the patrol car, and this officer is like, did you find your registration in your vehicle?" And of course, he's being very professional. And I'm like, "No." And he looked at me and he said, "You don't have the registration in your vehicle." And I said, "Well, Kind of. I have it on my phone now, and my phone was in the car. And honest to gosh, he took his glasses down and he goes like this. And he says, "Ma'am, get back in the car. I'll come talk to you in a minute." So I did tell him that I had Geico insurance and I thought my Geico would cover the vehicle if anything happened. But he was just like, "Ma'am, let me get this straight. You're driving a car that's not yours. Your emission sticker is out of date. Your license plate is obstructed. You don't have proof of insurance for this vehicle, and you also don't have your registration." Yeah, but it gets better. I had just filed for my real ID. So what I had for my driver's license is a piece of paper they printed off of the computer, which at that point, supposedly, yes, he is parked and waiting, and he is like shell shocked. And so the officer rattled off all of this and looks at me and he says, "And you're telling me you're taking this vehicle across state lines?" And I was like, "Well, when you put it that way, it sounds really bad." And the officer just put his head down and shook his head. And he's like, "Ma'am, this is your summons to court." I know, right? Fortunately, they had let me keep the plastic one, which is not supposed to be good anymore once you file for your real ID and they print it out. So I could show him, like I had both that I could show him, thank God. But he just wrote me for like all of that. And he was like, "You've been real nice, so I'm going to give you a break. I'm going to give you this summons to court." And he put everything on the ticket. So I have no idea what this is going to cost me. And not only have I been summoned to court, but he said that the person who is letting me borrow the car needs to go too. And so it's like, okay. So 2 days later, we met up and they signed the title. And that Monday morning, I was there 8 a.m. with this stuff in my hand saying, "I want to buy this car." So hopefully that will help me. But up until this point, I didn't even have a traffic ticket because they had all expired because they roll off after 3 years, which the officer did comment on favorably. But I was just like, "Oh my God, I am going to go to jail." But thankfully I didn't. So on the 16th of September, I have to drive back to Virginia and go to court. It should definitely help you. It did. It really did. I think if I had had anything on my record, I really think I'd have been in trouble there. I really do. The other thing that helped me is I was able to pull up Geico on my app and show them that I had insurance that was on full coverage. And yeah, I think that helped too. But I still have to take everything in and explain all of this to the judge without sounding like a crazy person. Because I would get a lawyer unless Hubs can speak as yours. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. We are talking. We're gonna run this past somebody at church, They're retired, but maybe it'll help. What a hassle. Yeah. And my my friend, she just I was telling her everything about it because she called where my husband was messaging her husband. She called later and she's like, "Are you okay?" I hope so. I hope so because it's like the craziest thing. So I was like, "Yeah, I'm fine, but you have to go to court too." So I have no idea how much this is going to cost because there's, when you add up each little thing, it's kind of expensive. Cop seemed cool, but that was a list of things, so he probably had to. Yeah. And he was like, you've been real nice. I'm going to cut you a break by just giving you a summons, but this could be a lot more than a summons, so don't miss this court date. And I was like, don't worry, I won't. And, it's like I'd like to just pay it ahead and just get rid of everything, but I can't do that because it is a summons and it's got all this stuff on it. And he said that the judge would probably drop some of this if I could, get it fixed. So I'm hoping that by buying the car, I'm hoping that takes care of it because we don't have emissions testing in Tennessee, or at least not in my area. I think there's one. I think Chattanooga does, but I don't think anybody else does. So we definitely don't have emissions testing in my county, and we don't have anything. I don't have to have anything but plates on the back. I'm afraid to. I probably should fund the court, um, but I don't know. Maybe I should just do that. I don't think I'm going to get anywhere though, because it's like a whole compilation of angst that they get to deal with. I get to deal with. We all get to deal with it. But I was like, and my friend, when she called, she was a little panicky because she's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." Fortunately, too, the officer had a sense of humor, and when I told him, kind of, my phone was in the car, and I have a picture of it now on my phone. I think that kind of helped break up some of the stress. But it was just crazy. And my friend was like, "Gayle, only you. Just only you." And I'm like, yeah. So maybe I should take Peter's advice and go buy that lottery ticket. It would be really cool though. I really do think I would go to like some small depressed county, maybe even like the one I'm in. Because we just posted the highest unemployment rate in the state a couple of months ago. It's crazy. And they're saying we have some surveys are saying that we have a 43% child poverty rate. So it'd be really cool to win the lottery and then just come in like here or someplace like it and just say, what can I do? Because if you win like the Powerball or something, then you've got most likely enough money you can do whatever you want to for somebody. So that's what I think. What on earth? Okay. I have a moth flying behind my phone. Strange stuff. But anyway, what can I say? So anyhow, that's my Pampered Chef stuff. I'm going to go ahead and get off of here and see if I can go back to sleep. Or not even back to sleep. Just see if I can go to sleep. Thank you all for hanging out. I can't believe that y'all were on here. So kudos to you for being here and putting up with me. And Busy Lady, next time I'm on, if you're on too, we'll just have to live stream together. And you can show your chickens. You can show those. It'll be fun. Peter's laughing. Yep. It's been a weird experience. So, yeah. I've been in kind of a funk because, like, these crazy things keep happening to me. So, we'll see. Tomorrow, I have to go get an MRI done on my neck and back because they think that where I fell and broke my back earlier in the month, that possibly I did something up here to my neck and upper back. So, we gotta go have that checked out, which is just as crazy as getting the ticket. What can I say? Sorry, had to get a snack. Okay. Well, I was just saying that I'm going to go ahead and sign off here in a minute and see if I can get some rest. So, you too, though, both of you, I hope you all can get some rest. Try to have a good night, and I'm going to see about, coming on Thursday, aka later today. I hope no more adventures. It's just this has just been a weird year. So yeah, no more adventures unless they're fun. Now, if they're, I'm due for a fun adventure, because even when we went to New Mexico to see my grandbaby, that should have been fun. It really should have, but we had, you've seen the videos. We had lots of trouble. Anyway, 1 a.m. is great, LOL. Probably so. All right, well, you all take care. Be bodacious. Don't let life get in the way of living, and don't get in trouble. And if you do get in trouble, for Pete's sake, don't get caught, okay? All right, good night, you all. Good night.